everyone. Today on Artful Mind, I am joined by someone who is blending ancient Ayurveda knowledge with the precision of modern technology. Today, my guest, Rishi Agarwal, he is the founder and CEO of AharX Private Limited, a platform that is working on Ayurveda, nutrition, computational biology. Rishi has a biotech degree, M.Tech from IIT Guwahati. Now he has been working on his dream startup. I welcome Rishi to my podcast. We are very happy to have you on my show. Warm welcome to you, Rishi.
Thank you so much, Tasrin. A lot of people would be thinking after, listening that I have completed the M.Tech from IIT Guwahati and considering the title of your podcast, the exit strategy. A lot of people might be confused that I haven't completed M.Tech because I quit in between. And that is actually true. So I quit for like 1 month, mostly. So my M.Tech was in 2015-17. And it started with the existential crisis. I was struggling with the questions. I couldn't find answer. Mostly like why I'm existing, why I'm doing this, like what is the outcome of this, and does my life has any value or something? Like if I'll die, so anyway, I'm not going to take anything out of this place. So this is how it started actually, the existential crisis. So a lot of question, a lot of confusion, but there was no answer. So maybe that 1 month duration for which I quit IIT, almost like 1 month, that was because of this, because I wanted to find answer of those questions because they were bothering me. I was going through a lot of things. I mean, existential crisis, these kind of questions. I don't know, like how people tackle that, but for me, it was like anxiety, like a lot of anxiety and all that. So, uh, so during that time, I was also because I was doing M.Tech and mostly into computational biology, systems biology, bioinformatics, right? And till M.Tech, mostly what happens is that you have studied, almost like till DNA from the cellular biology, molecular biology, genetics, and all that. So I was just thinking because my M.Tech thesis was also, similar. And for the viewers, I just wanted to say like Tasrin and me, myself, we belong to the same lab under Shirisha Nagoto. And she has cellular biology and organelle biology in cellular imaging lab. So,
But by the time I joined, you already left. You completed, right? Then only I joined. Yes,
yeah,
I joined 2017 August. By the time you completed, actually, yes.
Yeah, in July, August in 2000, in July only I completed, I submitted my thesis.
Right.
So that was previous to that year. So it was July 17. So I might be struggling like around July, August 2016 time.
Okay.
And so I emailed Shirisha ma'am that I'm done with the institute and lot of funding you are investing in and all that, and a lot of funds are going into research, but there is no outcome. There is no value addition that I can see, and I cannot stand for myself by seeing that I'm just doing research and publication in impact factor because I don't know, like there is impact factor, but I really wanted to see through like in front of me, like there is value addition, there is impact. So I couldn't digest this conventional pathway of researching, publication, and impact factor because a lot of people are doing this research and all that. But if a lot of people are doing research and all that, then why do we have a lot of sufferings in the society? Why do we have depression? Why do we have diabetes? Why do we have anything? Because research we are doing for the well-being and health for the people. But if there is no outcome, what I cannot see, I cannot stand for myself. And this thought process added like a catalyst on my existential crisis. I am going through this, and I'm seeing that a lot of people are, completely occupied in their life in IIT, doing this, doing that, and all that. And I feel like everyone is occupied, not just in IIT, like throughout the world, but then why there is suffering. So that could be like break. And I wanted to face my own fear because, IIT is like a brand value. Everyone wants to carry that at least, being an IIT. So I wanted to face that fear that if I do not have, because there is something which is very more valuable than the IIT degree. That is to see real impact on the society. And that's how even the entrepreneurship journey started. So I booked a ticket, I took a train, I left. I was moving around in Mathura, Vrindavan, all the ashrams and all that. I was meeting sadhus over there. I was discussing with them, and they were asking like where you came from and all that. So I told them that I'm from IIT alone. And I asked them like I wanted to understand the consciousness, the awareness, which is the source of everything, which is the source of life and everything. Even if I'm studying biology, biological process, all that, but where the consciousness is coming from, it was also related to my master thesis. That was the protein targeting. So I have to identify some unknown protein where it is targeting, to which organelle it is targeting. So considering the physicochemical properties, it is finding the place where it has to be located within the cell. So I was just thinking while doing this research on physicochemical properties of protein and the targeting of the protein, where the consciousness is coming from, like how the protein at such a micro and nano scale, how they have that consciousness that okay, I'm generated, I have this structure, I have this property, how I should move. So this thought, and then I was seeing one of the video of one of the scientists where he was talking about the protein consciousness and all that. I forgot the scientist's name, but he's also a cellular biologist, like the very known. So when I took a break, when I was in Mathura Vrindavan talking to sadhus and all that, they were not interested, but they were interested. They were not interested to have me over there. Rather, they gave me another argument that it's not necessarily that if you stay in ashram, then only you will be able to find the answer. Wherever you are right now, like in the IIT, which is a really reputed place, which is a place where you can really grow yourself and you can find your answers. It's a journey. It's not like you get into the ashram and you will get all the answer. So the getting the answer of the existential crisis, whatever questions you have, it's a process. So you will get those answers, but don't stay in ashram because this is not your place. We'll be losing a really bright student who can be in IIT, who can uh, consider the resources and everything, and then he can add more value because there is already a spiritual drive, a spiritual this. Then I got more frustrated that fuck, like I have left IIT and now they are not accepting me. So I'm like nowhere. So I was going through so much of anxiety that with the anxiety, I'm getting another anxiety that with this anxiety, am I getting cancerous? Because, being biology, you always think of, something is going haywire in the biological system. So the whole night I remember, so they allowed me like you stay in the ashram. They gave me rooms and everything, all the facilities, like you can have free food, free lodging and everything. You stay however long you want and make up your mind and take a decision. And we would want you to go back and complete your study, and then maybe you can consider your pathway. But don't drop in between. Don't quit. It's not good. So that night, 2 nights or something, I was going through so much of anxiety that with the anxiety, I'm feeling like I'll get cancerous and all that. So that was a like really hard journey. Then because we used to get the stipend was over. I didn't have money in my pocket. So I came back to the IIT. So considering the suggestions what they gave in the ashram, and considering considering the situation that I have like financially I'm not sound, so I cannot you know keep on traveling and all that. So I get back to the IIT. I apologize to my guide Sirisha ma'am that it was a mistake, and then I started my journey. Then yeah, so that's how the entrepreneurship journey got started. Then I thought that how I can get started, and considering having the background of systems biology and this, then I was studying Ayurveda. Then I went one of the Ayurvedic college, which is in Chalupari, close to IIT. I requested principal that I want to study Ayurveda. I wanted to understand the core of the Ayurveda, the basic, the fundamentals, the framework of Ayurveda. but I would not be able to pay you anything. And I don't want any certification or any degree, just all knowledge. So you are giving knowledge, this institute for the knowledge, I need knowledge. You just give me the access to the resources, the library and the classes. I just want to gain that. And the first common question that I raised to myself and to them that is there any computable database? Because working in the computational biology ground, I thought that we have Human Genome Project, all the DNA database, protein and all that. And since thousands of years, Ayurveda is there. So it was a common question that there would be existing computable database of Ayurveda, but it was not there. So I used to work for my M.Tech till lunch. I used to take the bus, then go to the institute, Ayurveda Institute, and then I used to sit with them in the classes in the library, and I structured the database, converting the Sanskrit shloka into modern science language. Not exactly, but close to. How the variables are there, how they're connected, how they're mapped, how those variables are regulating each other. So took the systems biology approach and computational approach and created the computable database of Ayurveda. And that's how it started. It was not completed, but the journey got started till then. So yeah.
Okay, let me ask you, when you left IIT, that time in your mind, you were like completely quitting, right? There was no plan to coming back.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And also you told about Ayurveda Informatics. So for someone who doesn't know, can you explain what it's about and how someone can utilize that?
So yeah. So Ayurveda Informatics is basically understanding that Ayurveda has a lot of values, but it is in Sanskrit. So only the domain expert or the Ayurveda expert can only understand that. But we want to, so I wanted to create an accessible platform where they can just input their worries, their pain, their symptoms, their disorder, so that the platform can recommend them the right ingredients, that's like food ingredient, herbs, and all that, which they can implement in their life or to their loved ones, and they can get healed. So how it started was, first of all, for example, like in a shloka, there is that amla is good for constipation, right? So there is two agents, and so first of all, converting the Sanskrit shloka into understandable data sets, and those data sets how they are connected. Like amla is good for constipation. So if someone is having constipation, they can just put the keyword in the platform like I have constipation, and they will be recommended amla. But the problem is that they have to have a interface where they can just put the keyword and they get the answer, which was not there. So all the shlokas, I took the herbs, a list of herbs, list of sign and symptom, list of diseases, and list of other attributes. Like in nutrition science, we have protein, carbs, all the minerals, iron and all that. And we know the significance of each nutrients in the biological system, right? So I took the similar approach. So there is a chapter called Dravya Guna. Dravya Guna is basically understanding the herbs through their attributes. So those are like rasa, guna, virya, vipaka, karma, prabhava. Rasa is the taste. If I eat sweet, what is the biological implications of that, actions of that? Similarly, rasa is basically like six type. So I know, okay, this herb, uh, for example, amla has five tastes. Coriander has four tastes. So similarly, turmeric has this taste. So I deciphered the attributes of each herb and created on the Excel sheet that each herb, its attributes and its effect on particular sign and symptom and how on the diseases. So two concepts basically. One is Dravya Guna, dividing and understanding or deciphering the herbs into their fundamental attributes, and then connecting to the biological system through Shat Kriya Kal. Shat Kriya Kal is stage-wise disease manifestation. So stage-wise disease manifestation, for example, diabetes converted, exaggerated to diabetic retinopathy, diabetic ulcer, and all that. So in that way, there is a complete book called Madhav Nidan on stage-wise disease manifestation. So mostly considering these two subjects, I converted the data set, created an Excel sheet, created all the data set, how they're associated, up regulation, down regulation. For example, if you eat something, it could initiate loose motion, right?
Right.
But if you eat more quantity of it, it might uh, cause constipation, right?
Okay.
So qualitative and quantitative understanding of those herbs through their attributes and how the actions are on the human biological system. So a database was created with an interface where you can just put your worries in terms of symptoms, in terms of diseases, and it will suggest you in rank-wise order. For example, you eat ginger, you eat giloy, you eat ashwagandha, and all that in the rank-wise, so that you know these are the best ingredients that you should consume. And this is how the serial is arranged. So I launched this Ayurveda Informatics, got around 300 subscription globally. Then I removed the access from the platform so that I keep on improvising that. And that's how the AharX was created. Because initially it was more of technical words, Mutrala, Chakshushya, Deepana, Pachana, and all that. But a lot of people will not understand those keywords. So they would not be able to put those. So now in AharX, what we did, we made it more simplified manner so that very easily, like you have headache, you can put headache. You have urinary obstruction, you can put urinary obstruction. So in that
Okay.
way, created a more simplified, which is AharX. So Ahar means food, and RX is prescription, prescribed. So that's how the startup was created. RX to prescribe ingredients in a simplified manner.
So now Ayurveda Informatics, which has simplified interface called AharX. That's what I understood, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the database is still being updated, or it is completed with the knowledge that you gathered from Ayurveda?
Yeah. So a lot of data we have integrated, but Ayurveda has so much data that I feel or understand that throughout my life also, if I keep on digitizing, I might not be able to like complete the database because Ayurveda has like standard 48 books, a
Mhm.
lot of different domains. Sushruta Samhita, Charak Samhita, Madhav Netan, Vagbhat, like a lot of books are there. So
Mhm.
translation and accurate translation is very tough, like completely to modern science, because modern science has not reached to that level where Ayurveda has already like completed.
Mhm.
So like a lot of thing has been done, a lot of things are needed to be done. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, before moving on, I want to go back. You said during your existential crisis, you went to spiritual places, right? People
Yeah.
at your age might have gone for a vacation, freshen up their mind, but you went to those ashram. So you were into spirituality before, or during that time you felt like this might be the answer? What
I
made
think it
you go
was
to those places?
because uh, I have this curiosity, like the unending curiosity. I wanted to go like to the core, to the core, to the core, to the core. Until and unless I don't find answer, my curiosity doesn't die. So the curiosity is actually spirituality. Spirituality is all about like, understanding the framework, the fundamental elements, why we like spirituality is like, Gyan yoga,
Mhm.
you understand. So that curiosity actually lead me because I was so saturated with the modern science that okay, ab to ho gaya. What else, right? And it was since like childhood. I used to read books like anything. Mostly, what I have read and what I was interested since childhood was science. I always loved to study science because science is deciphering, things, and you are getting into the depth. So understanding the core and core. And then I used to study the biography or the life of a scientist, like how the Einstein was in the kid, how he was in teenage, how he was in that, how the Nikola
Exactly.
Tesla was in this. So I used to study a lot about the scientist life and or like who has been like creative and curious. So by seeing them, seeing their journey and having my own curiosity and enthusiasm to know something at fundamental scale and to apply the knowledge so that we see the value addition in the society. That was there since childhood, but sometimes, ups and downs, you forget, you get involved so much into the, conventional things, society and conditioning and all that. But the seed was always there. So that was keep bringing me back that Rishi, just don't go. Like, this is not the path. Like, stay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I remember you also started Ayushna Cafe during that time, during your
Yeah.
exit, right? I mean, once you completed. So please tell
Yeah.
us about that venture as well.
Yeah. So that was a big problem statement that every IITian I used to hear from every IITian friends over there, that the food is not good. One of
Hostel
my
Badhana.
friend, yeah, hostel food, canteen food, and all that. Maybe it's palatable. A lot of food, like a lot of the time, the mess food was not palatable. So I saw that there is a space, so I can use the Ayurvedic knowledge for value addition in the food landscape within the campus, so that they can have palatable and at the same time healthy Ayurveda-driven food. So I saw the gap. I talked to one of the mess worker that I need a cook, and I took a room rent outside the campus, very close to the campus, from Khokha Gate, close by. I took a room, one and a half, like 1.5K was the rent. So one of the mess worker, he called one of his younger brother, who was not that good in cooking. And then I called my sister. I booked a flight ticket. I kept her underground in the campus because she was not an IITian. So I kept her underground in the hostel, and she used to guide the cook outside the campus. And I was a delivery boy. I collaborated with most of the canteens in the campus and used to take direct orders also from the hostels and all that. Because I was talking to the canteen man and I asked him like, what's the maximum commission that you get from any of the product? So he said that like 8 is the maximum profit he generate from one of the product. So I told him like, I will give you double of that. Like I'll give you on one packet, I will give you 15 rupees. So I used to keep all the tiffins on the shelf of the canteen, the core, and so I was mostly a delivery boy. So I used to go get the grocery and deliver all the orders at time. But during that time, like within 2.5 months when I was doing this, uh, I lost 9 kg because a lot of exhaustion, like mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion. So I lost 9 kg. And one day I was like, I'm done because I'm losing my health. So one day I just got into the train. I told the TTI that I don't have ticket. Whatever you want to find me. So a lot of friends actually dropped me, uh, went there. A lot of friends went there to drop me. I told them that like I'm done. I might get hospitalized. Like once I got hospitalized also in IIT
All
because of
this
the health.
happened during your second year of M.Tech, right? Once you
Yeah,
came back.
just yeah. During that process, I was mostly going to the institute and digitizing and all that.
Learning.
Because during the M.Tech, I cannot do any entrepreneurship because thesis was there, right? As soon as I completed my M.Tech, that was on, I think, July first week somewhere. Then I went to Vipassana, yeah, July 2017. And
Yes.
uh, the second day, when I completed my M.Tech, the second day I went to Vipassana. For 10 days, I did like silent meditation. And after
Okay.
that, that is the other course of discussion, like how Vipassana took my journey ahead.
Like in
Then
Guwahati,
I
you did
was,
Vipassana or other places? In
what?
Guwahati, in some ashram, you did Vipassana or yourself?
I did in Shillong. So that was also very accidental. One of my friend, he just, discussing Vipassana and this like meditation, 10 day and all that. I got motivated by like three things. Like I was thinking like after M.Tech, what I will be doing. I want to take a break. So he told me like Vipassana is a meditation course, 10 day, free food, free lodging. And as soon as he told like it's in Shillong, behind Umiam Lake, there was a gypsy center. Like they took a church and they were doing. So I got motivated by like that, like behind, like beside Umiam Lake, 10-day free lodging, no expenses, 10-day free food. I was not much motivated by meditation. I'm like, ठीक है. chalega. But
Mhm.
I just wanted to like take a break after M.Tech. But when I went there, it was a completely different course. My motivation was different, but got what I gifted from the Vipassana, that was like different. So now the spiritually path from Vipassana, it was taking me on a different league altogether, and the entrepreneurship also. So in July end, I think I started July, August, and September. I just end of September, October. I think I left IIT campus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, also, since I have been following you, so I know while building your dream startup, you also survived global pandemic. So what challenges you had during that time? Because if when we talk about the struggle, then we know the success, right? How, what it takes to get the success. So can you take us back to 5 years back?
Yeah. So Corona, it was also a boon and also a curse. I mean, it was a blessing also because I got a lot of time to meditate. I need not to spend a lot of time in traveling and all that. So I was always wanting that I want to isolate myself and experiment on, fasting, experiment on meditation and all that. So as soon as the curfew got started, I was in Delhi with one of my cousin brother. I got stuck there because curfew started and I couldn't get back to my hometown, which is Cuttack, Odisha. So I stayed there. I stayed for like 3, 4 months, just in the room. I learned cooking there. That was one thing. I did meditation a lot. I did fasting. I did like maximum 3 day fasting, continuous, no food altogether. And how I feel when I consume no food. Can I get energy from any other sources? I was experiment on that. Like, is there any other sources apart from like food? Can I survive on that? And then I got good time. So I had interns. So I have my mentor who helped me out in creating the Ayurveda Informatics. He's from IIT Delhi, Professor Ganesh Bhaktar. So I had interns from IIT Delhi and SUT Delhi. Interns, and we used to work like day and night to create the Ayurveda Informatics. I launched within the Corona period, and mostly the struggle was like a lot of people had this fear that they will catch the virus and all that.
Mhm.
I don't know, like I didn't have any fear. Like I don't want to promote that, but I didn't even took any precaution for that. So when I get back in my family, everyone has corona, and they asked me like not to interact with people because they had corona. But I was interacting
Mhm.
like nothing is there. So I didn't gave any seed even of placebo. It was a reality, but I didn't even give the placebo that corona is there or it's affecting in this way or that way. So I didn't keep any thought of like corona, its effect or anything. I was like very normal. So I never got positive of corona. And but because I was running cafe, so there were like two cafe running. So one got shut down because it was within an institute in Cuttack. Other was in the market. That got because of the curfew, like we have to close it. So I was struggling financially. Then I called one of my friend in Australia that I'm struggling financially and I need money. So I borrowed from him like 1 lakh rupees, and that got. And soon after that, my dad got hospitalized for something, and all of the money that I borrowed from him got spent in the medical expenses. So I'm like at zero at square. I don't have money to even uh, give back to him. So that was quite a like period struggling financially and all that. I think I mean ठीक है like it went off uh, quite not very harsh but like quite smoothly. Not very harsh, but yeah. I think it's all the meditation that was helping me
Yeah.
to keep myself sane.
Right. I think people work in laboratory, but you made your body a laboratory that you were experimenting. I think that helped you, right? You made your mind so strong that all this taking became secondary.
Yeah. I just considered like this is not my body. Let's use my body like a guinea pig.
Mhm. But sometimes it is harmful also, right? Did you see any
Uh,
side
that's
effects?
how you, I mean, that's how the research is done, right? You know the barrier of something. Like when
Hmm.
you use a rat, you keep on feeding some medicine and you see what's the barrier of it, right? After this, what is the effect? I mean, that's a systems biology. For example, if I'm consuming a lot of sugar, what is the graph of my insulin? And after some point, I might become diabetic, but I need to know what is that extreme.
Right.
So I was trying to know my extremes. Like if I'm doing this, what is my level? Can I cross it? What is the implication of that? I mean, yeah, it's dangerous, but I mean, that's insanity. But I love insanity.
Right. That's what you are now, Rishi Agarwal, the founder, and doing your dream work, I guess. So you did 3 days consecutive fasting, like for many interval, or it was one time, or you saw that, or
I mean, it was one time I wanted to do for until unless I'm not fainted, but because of my cousin, he didn't allow me. Like, no, brother, I don't like. It's COVID time, it's curfew. I cannot take you to the hospital if something happened to you. So he stopped me. But I was feeling like so light, so like feather, and so good. It's like it was awesome. It was like flying, levitating kind of experience. I didn't feel anything like anything going wrong or feeling fainting. It was very smooth and awesome. I wanted to take it out from 3 to 4 days, 5 days, 7 days, maybe 10 days. I don't know. But he was after 3 days. He got very concerned. He got angry on me. No, you have to eat. And I was like, okay.
you were only
And I
taking
feel
water.
water and very less. Like whenever I'm feeling like thirsty.
Mhm. Okay, that's quite interesting. Okay, what else we can talk about? You're also working on something new. If you are fine, we can talk about that also. Something interesting happening.
Vadyamudra.
Right.
Yeah. So Vadyamudra is so RX and Ayurveda Informatics is mostly like digital experiences, right?
Right.
But I wanted to see and create a center, an experience center, where we bring back the ancient Indian science from Rig Veda, from Atharveda, and all that. Because um, like a lot of people do research, but what I feel is that there should be sustainable use of knowledge. If already a lot of researchers from 1,000 years, they have already, gave us so many journals and so many research and all that. Why don't we use that? Why we are wasting that knowledge which they have already created, right? They have invested their whole life. And I don't think that they were doing for the money. It was just, their curiosity, their integrity to help people out. So, and Indian ancient science is very, very deep and very vast at the same time. So, Vaidya is to bring back the Indian ancient science in a manner that we provide healing experiences in a center. So, in Vaidya we'll be giving, now it's under construction. We are constructing it in Delhi. So, we'll be giving Rig Veda chanting. You should know how to chant a mantra. You should know how to do a yajna. Yajna, different type of yajna has different significance. So you should know those mantras, how to use the mantra as a tool, how to use a yajna as a tool. And then panchkarma, there are like panchkarma therapies in Ayurveda for detoxification and for healing and for well-being. So we have that center. And then we have one cafe also, Ayurvedic cafe. Then we have all the herbal plantations over there where we are having farmers, we are giving them saplings and the know-how, how to grow the herbs, and how we use the herbs and all other ingredients from the farm in the kitchen, in the cafe, and give people like farm to fork experiences, which is Ayurvedic driven. So a complete experience center in the urban place. Like Delhi people, they have to go, either South, Kerala, and all that. But a lot of people are so engaged in their life that they want very easy and very convenient solutions. So that's why we chose Mathura in the vicinity of Delhi, but it's in a very greenery place beside Aravali Hills.
Okay, that's super.
Yeah,
So it's like extension of your digital work into physical
yeah,
reality. It's amazing. I wish
complete
you all the best.
ecosystem closed. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I think we are coming at the end of the section. I want to ask you, what advice would you give to someone who is trying to build something like this? Because when we talk about innovation, we don't need to necessarily think about something that is not traditional, right? And your work is showing how you are blending the traditional knowledge along with the technology, being someone a graduate from IIT. So, what advice would you give to someone looking up to you?
I mean, I'm not very good in giving advices actually,
No,
but
just sharing
just
your
maybe,
experience. Right. Yes.
yeah, maybe just one thing that I feel is, uh, I mean, you should have your clear why you want to do something. If you are
Mhm.
doing anything, you should have a clear why, and you
Mhm.
should not be very like quickly. I mean, first take your considerable time in identifying your why. What is your why? Why you are doing this? Why you are studying this? Why you are working this? Why you are creating this? First, there should be your why very much clear. And then from the why, once your why is clear, okay, then you think of what you can do, what is the gap in the market. Then you get into the market. But first clear like why you want to do this, why you want to help people, why you want to sell something, why you want to innovate or create something. Once you have understood that, so either you want to be a rich, like I want to be like I want to income money. Either it could be creating social impact, or either you want to create something very innovative and very disruptive that you want that in the market. So once the why is clear, then you think of how you can use your skill set, how you can create a team. Collaboration is very important. You should not just think of like you can alone do it.
Mhm.
Collaboration is a beautiful thing.
Right.
Collaborate, work together, and I mean, be sincere. That's it. And keep your health well. Health is
Mhm.
important. So yeah. So
Mhm.
and
That's amazing.
I mean, this is so good that you started this podcast. Bringing all the researchers and the life of a researcher, maybe in PhD, postdoc, M.Tech, and how, because a lot of people, I think a lot of researchers are in the limelight. A lot of people don't know what is the life of a researcher, how it is.
Right.
And I mean, it's a good thing, podcast. I think you should, I mean, a lot of people should see this kind of podcast. Maybe they can get a lot of answer from this kind of podcast. So it's a good initiative that you took. And
Yes.
you are also one of my inspiration.
Thank you so much. It's such a humble for you to say that. So I was coming to that, as you said, the life of a researcher. So when I started, my vision was that, like how I will be bringing people who are working in the area similar to mine, because I was comfortable talking about those area, right? Then slowly I invited people from different background. As you said, the life of a researcher. Now, my last question will be, as a founder, your life is different. But since you are into spirituality and all those ancient knowledge, so how does your life look like if you describe your day?
Okay. And mostly it's normal, but something which is I do very religiously. It's my ritual. I wake up and do my stuff. I get freshen up and everything. I do nasya. Nasya is the naze.
Okay.
You put oil in your nostrils to clear your pathway. mainly sinus area. So that is coming from Ayurveda. So I take Shadbindu oil, Shadbindu tail. So 3 drops in one nostril, then snort it, then another. So that clears the whole pathway. Then I do my pranayam, Astrika, Kapalbhati, Anulom Vilom, all that. That that makes myself ready for the day completely, like recharges me, bring all the pranas to the edge completely. And then I take bath, I have food, then I go to office or work from home, whatever I feel like, and do my work, whatever is there. So whenever I go, before starting the work, I make a list of all the work that is to be done, all the work, then prioritize them, which is very important and all that. Then make some calls, do my own work and all that, if it's a research-based product or anything. Then that's how maybe like 8 hours, 9, 10 hours. I work till 8, from 11 to 8, something like that. Then I get back to home and then I like roam around, do some reels, all that, like just bringing my energy like from that, like completely work from like normal. Then I had my dinner, try to do meditation in night, read some books, mostly like spiritual, Nisargadatta Maharaj, I prefer. And then I again work or do call like to my parents or friends or someone. And before sleeping, I have this habit of scrolling. So I scroll, I took screenshot of quotes and all that. I post that. And mostly social media even happen in between the work also. So by the time like I'm like saturated, then I keep on scrolling and stuff. Yeah, so mostly like that. And in a year or something, I try to take one break at least to go to forest or Himalayas or beach or any other places. But my favorite is mostly like forest, dense forest, or something where I can see like clear sky, like all the stars. So
It
yeah,
keeps you
so
grounded, the mountain.
yeah, it keeps like you connect to the universe.
Mhm. Right.
So
So,
yeah, even I'm writing a book. Uh,
yeah.
so maybe I will launch. And I don't know. I'm not getting time to complete that. I've completed like one draft of that book, but I'm writing a book. Like first draft is completed. Maybe final version will come out in some time. Then I will
That's
publish
amazing.
and also.
That's amazing. I wish all the best for your book. And also, I
And
forgot to ask, as an Ayurveda enthusiast, how does your plate look like? The kind of food you cook yourself or you have someone?
I mean, I love to cook. Cooking is what I love, but I don't get time much. So maybe in like 15 days or some like 15 days, I cook once or twice. So my plate looks like I have samosa, I have chai, I have
Samosa?
pakoda. So there is nothing like Ayurvedic. So I am like very
Okay.
normal. And like however I have been like grown up, whatever I like. It's just like I try to avoid more of processed food. Processed as in like modern food like pizza and all that stuff. Because I mean Ayurveda says that you eat it and feel it how it has the implications. So I consume like whenever I eat bread or something like pizza and all that, I feel that it creates bloating and like the bowel movement is not good. So I keep that in mind, but not like as Ayurveda stuff. So I feel the how it feels me, the food feels me. So I'm not very stringent about like food. I consume like food like anything, but I'm consciously like, okay, this is affecting me. Okay, so don't eat. But that doesn't mean I do completely avoid it. It's not like I'm not eating pizza or French fries or something. So I'm like very cool with the food.
Yeah, even I feel like that. Sometimes if I'm eating junk, I just tell myself whatever I am eating, it is going to be good for my health. So that way I think I put that thought into my mind, and I'm like, okay, I'm good to go.
Yeah, and then I consume, some Ayurvedic stuff like turmeric latte, our own product. I
Mhm.
drink
Yeah.
turmeric and other herbs. Then I take shilajit. Then I take uh, like I cut the slice of haldi root, turmeric root, and ginger root and chili. I squeeze the lemon and I keep that as a savory part in my plate so that I'm consuming like curcumin, like turmeric and ginger and chili, which is really good for me and good for a lot of people. So I keep some component which is like healing. So
Mhm.
turmeric, ginger, and all stuff. So I keep those kind of stuff, like one component at least that gives me antioxidants, anti-inflammatory agents, and all stuff.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
think nowadays, like people make reel on many things, right? That you should eat that, eat not to eat that. Most of the time, people copy because we can see similar topic flooding on our Instagram by different influencer,
Mhm.
right? Most of the
Yeah.
time they talk about the same thing. But I think you, as someone with this knowledge and your passion, should start something on this also, so that people get the accurate one because you have real interest. Not you will not be doing for money or maybe limelight, right? You really have the
Mm.
passion. That's why that made you to leave a prestigious college and then you working on this.
Well,
So I think you can think about that as well.
definitely, I'll consider that. I'm planning to. Like, once the kitchen is started, I wanted to cook. I wanted to show people like how
Right.
you should cook, and not like don't create any fear of food. Like, just be chill
Mhm.
with the food. Just
Right.
chill. Don't keep it on head. Like just feel it. If it's wrong, don't eat it. That's it. Nothing is wrong. I mean, if it doesn't like one thing could be right for you, one that same thing could be wrong for me. Like whatever you are eating. I mean,
Mhm.
just be aware, be conscious of like how it is affecting you. That's
Mhm.
it. So yeah,
No, since you are
we'll
working
do that.
on the science behind of those herbs and all, right? So you have the back end knowledge. So you it will be good
Yeah,
for you and it will be for you also. Not like on the surface level.
cool. I'll do
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think thank you, Rishi, for sharing your journey. And I am sure our audience will see the passion, the way you are working for all these years. And thank you so much for sharing your journey, your challenges. And to the listener, I hope today's conversation will help you to see and to explore things that might be risky. And most importantly, believe in the impact of something that you might be going to create or you're creating already. So stay curious, stay motivated. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you, Rishi, once again.
Thank you, Tasrin. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.